doing? This Sean Hardhead Martin. You're tuned in to Jeremy Sports Network. Let's get it.
I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
I'm here with my man Sean. Sean, how you doing?
Good, good. Blessed day.
So, I want everybody to get to know your story. You know, you're a 152-pound amateur. Coming up, you considering yourself the best in Georgia, right?
Yes, sir.
And you look to be future world champion once you do turn pro. But I want you to talk to everybody and let them know what got you started in boxing.
You got me started in boxing is I didn't want to be a role model for my siblings and my brothers and sisters. I know they looked up to me because I'm the oldest, so I want to do something that they have something to look up to. In school, I got in trouble for fighting a lot, so I transferred that anger, energy into boxing, and here I am today.
So do you believe that helped made you a better person?
Yes,
You
sir.
coming into the boxing world, did it humble you a little bit?
Yes, sir.
And you started to take fights more serious now than anything.
Yes, sir.
And what's good about that, you could get paid, right?
Yes, sir. When I first got into boxing, it wasn't about going pro or getting money. But as time went on, when I knew I could become good and my talent, I said I can continue on with this and see what I can do. I'm going up right now.
Right, so talking about your life still outside of boxing, what is it that Sean like to do on his free time?
On my free time, I like to give back to Atlanta. I go to charity events, feed the homeless, United Way Atlanta. What's the other one? I've got the other one, but I do everything I do for charity. I try to give back to my community, have a helping hand in my community and everything.
Right, and doing that helps you build a supporting I wouldn't say fan base, but a supporting cast as you continue throughout your career. So how long do you see yourself as an amateur before you do turn pro?
4 to 5 years. This is my 3rd year right now. I'm gonna try to give all I got this year, and I'm gonna see what next year holds for me.
Right. So what have you learned so far
What
since you've been an amateur?
Patience. My family said I have to work on patience, and in boxing, patience is the key to everything. You can't always rush into something because something's not always what it seems. But if you have the patience and the willpower, everything will fall into place just how you want it to do.
Right. So let me ask you this. Yes, last week, right?
Yes, sir.
You fought last week. Tell us how that went for you last week, because we saw a picture posted on Instagram where, you know, matchups could have been made between you and a fighter that's here. Like what? I was able. Didn't both of y'all come out with titles
Yes,
on
sir.
that weekend?
Yes, sir.
So how was that?
Sugar Burt gave us both a title because we came from the same gym. Me and my partner, Savon Lewis, Machiavelli, we decided we're not gonna fight each other at a tournament or a club show unless it's mandatory that we have to. We call ourselves the best 152 fighters in Georgia and the best fighters in Georgia. So we not gonna fight each other until it's mandatory, necessary for us to fight each other. Then we're gonna showcase the best 2 fighters in Georgia.
Right. So that's very understandable, right? I mean, that's showing a lot of respect that's there, because you have fighters that's in a program who hasn't fought each other, even though they're not even in the same gym, based upon the respect that they have for each other. But if the money's right, if the number's right, then business is business, right?
Business, yes, sir.
Right. So your record so far as an amateur right now at 152, what is it?
27-4.
27-4. So you have seen a lot of different styles, you know, so far in your first few years as an amateur, right?
Yes, sir.
Could you talk about some of the things it is that you've seen so far that a lot of people probably try to attack you with in fights?
Footwork. People try to attack me. I'm kind of flat-footed when I first started off. I relied on my power. So people try to move around me and move away from that right hand. They called me Young Tyson for a reason, because all my first 10 fights I ended in the first. I got a KO. So people used to attack me by moving around the whole time and jabbing, jabbing, jabbing. That's something I had to work on as I evolved and got better at my craft. I got to switch up how I fight.
So do you feel as though footwork is something, your footwork in general is something that you're working on as of right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that is good. So who is it that's fighting right now that you may look up to and study that has good footwork?
To me, I'm an old time boxer. I'm not with the new generation. I study old boxers, Sugar Ray Leonard, Hitman Hearns, Marvin Hagler. I study old. I don't nobody new, because guess what? They're trying to bury them type of boxers. So I can take what they're doing back then and put it in the game today, and people say, man, he's doing something I ain't never seen before.
Right. So you say you like Sugar Ray.
Yes, sir.
And you believe that Sugar Ray has some really good footwork. What do you think about a guy like they're talking about now, who's, to me, it's ridiculous that they have him on a pound for pound #1, and a guy in Vasyl Lomachenko. He's a really good fighter, but what do you think about his footwork? He has great footwork.
Oh,
do
he
you know?
has magnificent footwork. To me, he's not pound for pound. He only had 10 fights.
Right.
I say you gotta give the people credit where credit is due. With 10 fights, you can't be pound for pound. They got other fighters who've been boxing for more years than he has. So I give it to other people, but he's coming up. I'm gonna give it to him. He's coming up, and his footwork is amazing. I try to imitate his footwork sometimes in the ring to try to get it to confuse people.
What about Rigondeaux, Guillermo Rigondeaux? Do you feel as though he has good footwork and defensive abilities?
That's gonna be a good fight. He has good footwork, and he throw combination and bunches and man. He got some good work. That's gonna be a good fight to see. I wish they would have waited for a couple more years, but it seems like they want to see it now.
Right, because Rigondeaux is actually getting older now, and so they're really pushing that fight. And Lomachenko is pretty old himself.
Yeah.
So it's good that we're getting that fight right now, because 2017 we've been getting all of the best fights in
Right.
boxing, and you're a 152 pounder, so you're a good strong middleweight. How do you feel about Gennady Golovkin taking on Saul Canelo Alvarez?
Man, that's not going the whole round. That's gonna get a KO in that fight. Someone gonna get a knockout.
Do you think it's going to be Triple G getting the knockout on on Canelo, or will it be Canelo knocking out
To me,
Triple G?
man, it's a hard decision. I can't get into it. I don't want to place my bets. That's a hard fight.
Right. So, everybody's been talking about the Mayweather-McGregor. Did you see Floyd doing what Floyd did to McGregor in that fight?
Yes, I did. Yes. To me, Floyd Mayweather fought like Pretty Boy Floyd. He didn't fight like money. He went forward, throwing punches, and tried to knock Conor McGregor out. Now, I give it to him. Everybody said it was a good fight. I agree, it was a good fight. That's the only thing that matters to me. Was it a good fight to see? And it was. So I said I give a shout out to McGregor and Mayweather. Guess what? Conor McGregor has fought the best in our generation so far. You can't say, oh, he's dodged. He fought the best in UFC, fought the best in MMA. Mayweather has fought the best in boxing, then he fought the best in MMA. So I give it up to him.
Right. So that's what's up, man. Now, I want to talk to you about, I know we just spoke about this off camera, was the middleweight division and the fighters coming up in the middleweight division on October 14th. They gave us a really stacked card that's just full of middleweights, your division, with Charlo taking on Lubin. You got Erislandy Lara coming back, and you have Jarrett Swift Hurd, who's making another fight with Austin Trout, a big title fight. So how do you feel about either one of those guys? Do you study either one of those games?
I take notes from Charlo, the Charlo brothers. I take notes from them because I see they're long and strong. I try to study fighters that's built like me.
Right.
I can't take nothing from southpaw. I don't fight southpaw. I gotta take someone fight just like me, long and strong. And I do take notes from them about the jab, using their jab and their footwork. With Swift, man, he just a bad man. I can't look. How he fight and how he go, he relentless, strict pressure bust pipe all the time, and that's how he fight.
That's what's up, man. Pressure do bust pipes. And like we said, we're going to see a lot of pressure from that fight we talked about earlier with Golovkin taking on Canelo, because Golovkin is going to bring that pressure to Canelo. And to me, I feel as though that's going to be one of the determining factors in that fight.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something else. Right now in boxing, with Mayweather leaving the sport, you feel as though you can conquer a lot at your weight of 152. Do you feel as though you're going to be fighting right there at middleweight once you do decide to turn pro, like you said, in 4 or 5 years?
Yes, sir. I can go up or down. To me, I want to fight at 165. I only want to fight one person. I ain't going to say no names, but I only want to fight one person. I can't go down to 141, 46, or 45, or 52. It doesn't matter to me. But right now, there is no in-between on amateurs. It's only 152 and 141, so I hold off on that. But I feel comfortable I can fight at any weight class.
But what do you feel your best at? Like when you feel as though people are getting the best
152.
at 152?
Yes, sir.
That's good. So strong, powerful. So when is the next time everybody may be able to see you in the ring?
They got to fight Sugarbird Championship in Columbus, Georgia. I think that's November 15th through the 20th. That's my next fight.
Your next fight, wow. So if you could give everybody your social media so everybody will be able to follow you, could we have your social media? Facebook, Instagram?
Instagram is HHM_lifestyle. That's Hardhead Martin _lifestyle. Facebook, Sean Hardhead Martin. Twitter, Sean Hardhead Martin. And Snapchat, HHM_lifestyle.
There you go. You have it. So, hey, Sean, we appreciate you taking the opportunity to give us this interview. We're going to be following you throughout your whole entire amateur career and when you do turn pro. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.